Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kara. This is Fred. This is technically episode 3 of my What I'm Knitting podcast. But it's been a minute. Life happened and I got busy. What have I been up to in the last few months? I've started a lot of things. Haven't finished a lot of things. It is October 30th. I'm gonna jump right in. Here's what I've finished in the last couple months. First off, I'm gonna start with the Lume pullover by Sari Nordland. This was my first circular colorwork yoke sweater, and I enjoyed this so much. I want to make another one. Oh, also there's colorwork on the end of the sleeve too. I finished this back in like June or July, and I've been wearing it a ton. I am obsessed with this. I used Cascade 220 for the main color. I don't remember what color, but it's a brown, obviously. Queensland Brisbane for the colorwork. Swarthy Parrotfish was the name of the color. I enjoyed this so much, I have plans to make another one with a more high contrast colorwork so you can really see the beautiful like flower motif that's happening here. This one, I'm not saying I don't love how this one turned out, but it like looks better from further away than when you're up close. I don't know, this dark purple, it's like a purple and blue, is really close to the brown. But otherwise, I'm still really happy with this. I love it. So I have plans to make one in navy for the main color and a gray for the colorwork. And I think when I make it again, I'm gonna do a double neckline. The pattern actually did call for me to sew this in, but I decided that I liked this length because it like goes up to my jaw, and I like that. It's very cozy. Yeah, when I make it again, I'm definitely going to make this double length so that I can fold it over and have a nice like finished edge. I do have enough yarn left that I could probably go in and like redo the collar, but I'm not gonna do that. I have a sweater that I knit the sleeves too short on, and I kept telling myself, oh, I'll come back and redo that and make them long enough when summer comes around and I'm not wearing it so much. It never happened, and I was still wearing it inside. So maybe one day we'll do some alterations on stuff. But yeah, that's the Lume pullover. Definitely a staple in my fall wardrobe, and my first colorwork sweater. I'm very proud of it. Number 2 finished object is this little vest slip over thing. I don't know when we started calling them slipovers. They've always been vests to me, so I will be calling them vests. It was originally going to be the field slipover, which has this beautiful like grain look like a stitch pattern that makes it look like grain at the bottom. But the yarn I used, which was a local Icelandic wool from Taiga Farms in the UP of Michigan. So this yarn had a little bit more of a halo than I thought it was going to be, so I wasn't really getting the stitch definition that I wanted for the grain pattern. So I nixed it and just made a basic vest, which I love. And then I ran out of the Icelandic right when I got to the end. So I went in with some spare DK something that I had in my stash. I really dig the way it turned out. I think I like it better than had I done the same color. This has also been a staple of mine. I'm very happy with it. Maybe one day I'll actually make the field slipover with the field on it. Number 3, I made a little Musselburgh. It's a very small Musselburgh, but I made it with my hand spun. This is the first time I've knit my hand spun, and I gotta say I really like this Polworth silk blend, and I wanted to see what the hype was about with the Musselburgh hat, and I think it's a great pattern. If you aren't comfortable making a hat without a pattern, it's great. I do like that it's a pattern for literally whatever gauge, whatever yarn and needle combination. There's stitch counts for whatever your gauge turns out to be. So I do like that. I think that's really nice for people who aren't comfortable with just, okay, I'm gonna make a hat. Let me just pick up some needles and some yarn and go at it without a pattern. So I think it's really great for people who are not comfortable with just making it up as you go along, essentially. I want to try making one on my knitting machine so that I can crank it out even faster, because I knit this in a day. And as you can see, it's very small. The original pattern is, I mean, obviously you can make it whatever length you want, but you're supposed to be able to like brim it, but I didn't have quite enough yarn for that. So a lot of people were doing like 2 different colors for each half. So you have like a reversible hat, 2 different colors, which I think is a great idea. The double layer makes it so warm, like insanely warm. So that's all I've finished in the last couple months. I've been busy. I'm gonna be busy till the end of the year too, but you know what? I haven't bought any yarn or fiber since Sheep and Wool, and that was like the second weekend of September. I'm pretty proud of myself for that. All right, so that was quick. Let's move on to what I am currently working on, have on the needles. It's a lot. This is like a half-finished project. I literally just finished this one mitten earlier today. This is the Lindahl mitten by Woldten. Gotta remember my German. But anyways, this is the Lindahl mittens. Why did I say mittens like that? Lindahl mitten. I am using plied yarns. These are gonna be a sample for the shop for Spry Whimsy. I love how this pattern looks. Like, it makes me think of very specifically the stained glass style storybook at the beginning of Thumbelina. I need to double check that actually exists. Okay, I just looked. The book in the movie doesn't look exactly like that, but it's giving like stained glass fairy wings. It's just short rows. It's garter stitch, so it's worked. You worked sideways, so normally mittens would be like worked this direction. Vertically. This one's worked horizontally, at least the hand part, and so then you go like in one piece, Kitchener here, then you pick up for the thumb, and then you do the cuff. This is the first time I've done Latvian braids, and I'm kind of into it. Don't look at that side, I messed up a little bit. Oh, don't look over there, I messed up there too. I'm gonna make the second mitten with the colors opposite. I had a mitten due on Friday, today's Wednesday. I got it done today. Next on my WIP list, it's a alpaca and mohair held together. This is the sweater number 9 light, but my favorite things. This is just a simple raglan yoke. It's gonna have long sleeves. It's a 100% alpaca yarn with a mohair carry along. I originally didn't want to do a mohair carry along with this, with my alpaca yarn, but in the end I decided to, because structurally you have to carry something with alpaca, especially for a sweater. Otherwise, it will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until you have a blanket in the shape of a sweater. Just finished like the first skein of this that I have. Picked this up at Alpaca Fest, and this yarn is from Shady Havens Fiber Designs. So I'm using this plus a Rowan, I think it's a Kid Silk Haze mohair silk together to make this lovely luxurious thing. It's gonna be the coziest thing I own, and I'm very excited. I'm going to start the sleeves before finishing the body, even though I'm sure I'll have enough yarn, because look at this. This is one hang, and this is what I got out of that. So I don't think I'll run out, but like I need to do the sleeves first, just in case. Just in case. That's the sweater number 9 light. Another random thing I've made is these little drawstring project bags with these fun fabrics that I had. So I'll probably keep making more of these because I love these. This one came out the wrong direction. This was the first one I did. Most of the ones I have, this is literally with like a fat quarter worth of fabric. I want to get some more fabric so I can make them a little bit wider for like a full sweater. Let's talk about what's inside the bags. Another sweater I have in the works right now, Figures cardigan by Audrey Borrego. We are doing a little casual steeking colorwork cardigan knit along at Spry Whimsy. So this is the pattern I picked. I'll put in a picture here because you can't really see what the pattern is doing right now. I haven't made it very far. I don't even have needles on these. This is Green Mountain Spinnery yarn called Music, MEWSIC. This yarn is great for colorwork. It's like really sticky, but not rough. Like, I'd say this is pretty soft on the rustic side. So I picked a green and like a mustardy yellow. The camera is not picking up the colors right. It's gonna be cool. It is bottom up, but the vest that I just finished was also bottom up, and that didn't turn out too badly. I still managed to like try it on as I was knitting it. It just wasn't as intuitive to see where stuff was happening, especially once you got up here in the measurements. Obviously the way it's gonna sit on you is different than just the length here, but it turned out fine. I need to pick this back up again at some point soon, because it's gonna be really cool. I keep starting complicated projects and no head empty projects. I keep picking up complicated colorworks and stitch patterns and not head empty projects. I need to stop doing that so that I can actually finish my complicated project. What else do I have? Oh my god, I forgot I started this vest. This is another vest in works that I honestly forgot that I started. It's gonna be the Haley Slipover by Iris H. And it's got this really pretty cable pattern. I don't know what happened. I took it out of my main knitting bag and forgot it was in this bag with the cardigan. I knew that this was in this bag. I didn't know that this was also in this bag. So I should pick that back up. I'm using Cascade BFL in this nice green. Did you know I like green? Can you tell I like green? Green is the best color. So yeah, I should pick this back up again because we're like in the middle of vest season, if you can say that. We had 80 degrees yesterday. And we also had our first frost like a week before. So this might not be getting done for this year's vest season. What do I have in here? This is a sweater I'm in the midst of designing. It's gonna be all over cable, DK08. This is the Rowan Mordale. It's drop shoulder. I started on the front. This is the back. I don't have any short rows in here right now. We'll see about that. But yeah, it's gonna be an all over cable sweater. I'm probably gonna put I think the plan is to put a turtleneck on it. Basically, I was inspired by a sweater I used to have. It was like super oversized for me. So I'm making one that will actually fit. Was that sweater number 3? 4? I don't remember what WIP number we're on. Another sweater I have on the needles right now that I need to also pick up and do is the Woolen Honey by Andrea Mowry. I've only gotten this far. I'm doing a little knit along with a couple friends, and this is the pattern we picked. I casted it on a while ago, and then I don't know what happened. I might just start it over at this point. But it is a really pretty like honeycomb pattern all over garter stitch. So garter stitch in the round. First time doing that. It's not too bad. I don't hate it. May restart this. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what number we're on. Sorry about all my clicking with my needle holders. I have a pair of socks with self-striping yarn from Turtle Pearl. I'm at the point where I need to do the heel. Haven't sat down and done the heel. I don't know when I started these. These were my head empty project, but then I made it to the heel and I haven't touched them since. Oops! And I'm not even using the pattern for that. I just make socks. Oh look, another pair of socks. These socks are part of the Homestead Socks collection by Carly Perrins. These are the root cellar ones. You can't really see with the self-striping. This is like a bad yarn to do this with. But it's got a little bit of a cable pattern on the top of the foot. I did the heel, then I didn't pick it back up. I've apparently been craving the dopamine of casting on a new project, so I've been doing it a lot. Yeah, I was actually test knitting these, and I didn't finish in time. I was technically only supposed to do 1 sock, but I knew I wasn't gonna do the second sock if I didn't do 2 at a time, so definitely didn't finish in time. Still haven't finished them. Oops. Sorry. I'm sorry. They're cute. I don't know how I feel about DK weight socks. I feel like I might stick to fingering weight socks. Maybe I need to go down another needle size because they've just been like, by the end of the day, they're like baggy on my feet. And that's just not okay. Not comfy. I usually need to go a full millimeter down in needle size because I'm such a loose knitter. I might need to go down further for DK weight socks if I decide to do those. I like how much faster they go. I haven't found the right fit for me, I guess. Root cellar socks. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, I think this is my last WIP. I'm scared I have other ones that I just completely forgot about hiding somewhere. I hope not. All right, this is the Joanna tank by M Knits. I wanted to have this done a very long time ago. I don't know what happened. I think what happened was I wanted to do the collar before I did more of the body, and then I didn't feel like using that much brain power, so I didn't. Not sure when I started this one. So it has double knit armhole edges, and so is the collar, and they weren't even that hard to do. I don't know why I haven't gone back and done the collar yet, but it makes a really nice like armhole edge. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff to finish. Plus I have a few gifts to finish and start. I have one more gift I have to start, and it's gonna be double knitting, but with stuff on different sides, with different stuff on different sides. Because there's letters, and I need to make it so the letters facing the right way, both directions. Because unfortunately, it's not like an A or an O. I think I promised someone a pair of socks too. I have a few socks to catch up on also. But I did finally order a couple pieces for my knitting machine that I was missing, so I can really sit and crank some shit out on there. I was missing a cast-on comb. I had just decided to 3D print a random one I found, and it just hasn't been doing the job. Well, I finally ordered one, and I also ordered a Decker comb, which is just something that makes it really easy to transfer the stitches between the beds. So, knitting machine videos coming soon. I did film one a month or two ago, and my end result totally failed. So I decided not to make that. Besides knitting, I've got some spinning going on. A new thing I've picked up is tatting. I've taken a couple tatting classes, so I've been practicing. I made this. Tatting is a form of lace making. This is shuttle tatting, by the way, not needle tatting. A piece in progress, and here's the shuttle, and you do this little back and forthy thing. If I stick with it, I eventually want to make like those like gothic style like neck pieces. This is like my first foray into trying that out. So that's been fun. I hyper focused on that for a couple days recently. I haven't put it down for that long. And I somehow lost one of my shuttles in my couch. I really need to find it. I think it disappeared into like an alternate universe because I cannot find it. I have the bobbin, can't find the shuttle. And then this is also really, so this is 10 gauge thread. So this is like crochet thread. This is really big thread for tatting. I think I'm gonna get myself some 40 gauge because I have some 30 gauge and I have some 50 gauge, and I literally want something in between because one's a little bit bigger than I want, one's a little bit smaller than I want. So let me get 40 gauge, which is right in the middle. So I'll be ordering some of that soon, and more of this. Jesus, how many projects do I have right now? God, I really feel like I'm missing something. So yeah, that's all my whips. Final whip count? Too many. Which ones am I gonna focus on to finish first? I really don't know. And I keep finding new things I wanna make. So normally I would put in what I have planned to make next. I'm not making any more plans. I gotta finish this number of projects, which may or may not include projects that I can't talk about because they're presents. So that's what I've been working on, but also not working on. I can't believe that there was a whole project I forgot that I was working on. All the others, I was like feeling guilty of like, oh my god, I started this and I put it down and I just haven't made them back up. No, I straight up forgot about one. That's a first for me. That means I have too many projects. How many of them will I get done by the end of the year? Stick around and find out. Yeah, so we'll see how many of those I get done by the end of the year, because I also have a knit design program that I'm working through, and I've procrastinated on it, and now I have like 8 weeks left to do it. So I'm prioritizing that over knitting, Ravelry, and Insta, and all the pattern info down there. That's all, folks.